My name is Closius. One day I went to the city center to buy some bread and food for my family. But on my way there, just before I reached the city square, a strange man stole my money. I had no idea what to do. I had absolutely no money left. Then I noticed a crowd gathered around something. They were watching a fight between two men. People were even allowed to bet on which fighter would win. I decided to bet on a fighter named Marinus. But it wasn't long before I realized that Marinus was losing badly. A few moments later, he was completely defeated. That when a man came up to me and said, "Give me the money, you lost the bet." I told him I had no money. I didn't have anything to begin with. I just made the bet out of desperation. "I'm sorry, but I can't pay you." The man refused to listen. Then another man arrived. He had also lost his bet and didn't have enough money to pay either. This made the man furious. He punched the other man in the face, and a huge fight broke out. Suddenly someone hit me on the back of the head with something. Everything went black. After some time, I heard someone calling my name. I I slowly opened my eyes, but I had no idea where I was. I looked around and realized I was inside a dark pit. It was completely black, and the place looked like some kind of hidden prison. I got up and started exploring the area. There were strange lanterns hanging beside the prison cells. Then I looked inside one of the cells. A strange man was sitting there, but he had the head of a bull. I stared at him in shock. "Who are you?" He looked at me and said, "Someone just like you." "In fact, I am you. I'm everything you've done in your life, Closius. Why are you there? Why are you here? You tell me. Why were you cruel to your wife and children?" I was terrified. I couldn't understand what I was looking at. So I moved on and decided to look inside the other cell. A little farther ahead, I saw a man inside another cell repeatedly, smashing his head against the wall. "Sir, what's wrong with you?" He didn't answer. I took another step forward, but suddenly my foot slipped and I fell to the ground. The strange man began laughing at me. Then I heard a voice coming from far away. It was my wife's voice. "Closius, Closius." Suddenly I woke up. I was back at home. My wife was standing beside me. She told me, "Closius, you have passed out. Some people helped me bring you home." But I still couldn't stop thinking about that strange prison. and the man with the bull's head. My name is Johnny. When I was a child, I used to go to a park near our house. I loved playing saucer there, but something strange happened several times. Whenever it rained, I would sometimes see a very tiny man crawling out of beneath the sand in the park. And whenever he came out, the air around him would become strangely dusty and foggy. Most of the time, this happened when I went to the park in the middle of the night. He had a strange, almost funny face. One time I even saw him sitting on a slide. As I got closer to the park, he suddenly fell off the slide and disappeared back into the sand. It still feels very strange to me. The last time I saw him, I was only 4 years old, but many years have passed since then, and I've never seen anything like him again. He's not an ordinary animal. Hi, my name is Alvin, and I'm a university student. One day, while I was walking home from university, I noticed a small kitten. It looked lonely and hungry. I felt sorry for it, so I picked it up and decided to take it to a veterinarian. For the time being, um, I looked at home, gave it some food and washed it, and I named him Middle, and before long I became very attached to him. A few weeks passed, then my neighbors started telling me that they could hear strange laughter coming from inside my house. I told them there nobody there's nobody else there. There's nobody else here. It it's just my cat. But one day when I came home from university, I found my entire house completely messed up. Everything had been thrown around. The strange thing was, the front door hadn't been touched. That's when I became suspicious. I called the veterinarian and asked him to come and take me away. But when the veterinarian but when the veterinarian arrived, Milu suddenly scratched my hand. Then he jumped out of the window. The veterinarian and I tried to catch him, but he ran into the street. We followed him, but he had already jumped over a wall and disappeared. The next day, while I was heading to university, I saw Alex, my neighbor's son. He looked at me and said, Alan, I saw your cat Millie. I saw him jump out of the window, land on the wall, and and run into the alley. But then he changed. He went for looking like a cat to looking like a man. I was completely shocked. According to Alex, Milu had transformed into a strange-looking man who looked like a homeless vagabond. I had seen that same man myself while I was searching for Milu. I even asked him if he had seen my cat, but he never answered me. So guys, which one of these stories you like? And which one of these stories was darker in your opinion? Please don't forget like and subscribe my channel for better stories and thanks for watching us. Till next video, goodbye.